Welcome back to another edition of Worst of the Worst, Horror Freaks. I have to say right off the bat, I'm hurt. Physically and emotionally. I recently watched what is considered to be the worst film of 2022. Jeepers Creepers Reborn. Forced to travel with her boyfriend, Lane begins to experience premonitions associated with the urban myth of the Creeper. She believes that something supernatural has been summoned, and that she is at the center of it. Alright, so let's just jump right into it. Is it scary? No, this film is not scary at all. In fact, this was laughable. The scares were so predictable. There was absolutely no suspense or build-up. Only a few cheap jump scares that simply did not work. Okay, let's talk about the acting. For the most part, most of the cast were going a little overboard when it came to the acting, but I'm sure they were doing the best that they could. Sadly, none of these characters were likable. Most of them were just annoying. Alright, let's talk about the good, and it's a short list. The shrine that you see in the abandoned house that connects all three movies to this one. The reappearance of the Creeper's truck. The appearances of Dee Wallace and Gary Graham in the opening scene, which was supposed to be an homage or retelling of the first film. Turns out to be some sort of documentary. That's about it. That's all of the good stuff that you get in this film. Now let's talk about the bad. It's a long list, folks. Piss poor CGI and special effects. A misleading premise. An out-of-place cult that's somehow associated with the Creeper in order to get the main character to give birth to her baby so it can become the Creeper or be reborn through the baby or something like that. I'm not really sure because all of this was set up poorly and it just fell flat on its face. There was no character development. There was no story development. I was trying to figure out what the hell was going on for half the time. I couldn't enjoy the film because of the obvious CGI that was so distracting. The Creeper was no longer the feared monster that he came to be in the first three films. He looked like a Creeper cosplayer that you see at a horror convention. He just randomly killed people just because. And it was said that he was going to blend in with the people at the convention and then he would start killing people. That didn't really happen. That was just all bullshit. He hardly picked out his victims in order to eat the parts that he wanted. He does it once in the movie, and then he just grabbed whatever he needed. There was no build-up to these kills. He just randomly killed people in certain moments. I just didn't understand what the fuck was going on. The verdict is that this movie is dead on arrival. I'm sorry. I understand that the director, along with the cast and crew, had some challenges to face during the pandemic, and we did see some behind-the-scenes photos. But it is mind-blowing that this is the best that they could offer. The comic books told much better stories than this. If you haven't read them, please do. Jeepers Creepers Reborn was supposed to be a fresh start for this franchise. A new director, new writers, and so on and so forth, but instead what we got was an absolute train wreck, and it hurts to say this, because I'm a huge fan of the franchise. Yes, even part 3, so let's not even go there. In closing, just pretend this movie didn't exist. Don't waste your time. Thanks for watching the latest episode of Worst of the Worst. Have you seen Jeepers Creepers Reborn? Let me know what your thoughts are in the comments below. Be sure to subscribe to the channel, follow me on all my social media platforms, and have yourselves a good fry.